What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Beamer Tech. The E70 here is back in the house. Came back through to get a few more repairs done. We're gonna talk about what those are in a minute. First of all, I want to thank my subscribers for joining the channel. Thanks for all the likes and the comments, and thanks for checking out the videos. So without further ado, we're gonna talk about what's going on with the E70. So here, what we got going on with the E70. So you see some plastic rivets here. They're in the package, but what we got is a couple of washer pumps. So I guess I got some additional plastic rivets. I think the main ones we need are in this one. I think these were some I had left over that were right there. So I got some washer pumps and some washer pump strainers. The guy was one of his concerns was that the rear washer pump wasn't spraying. So and I think I could hear the washer pump, but it wasn't working, or I don't know if it was working at all. I gotta check. But so yeah, the rear washer pump is not working. But to repair it, it's a little bit involved, because you gotta take the wheel off and get in this inner fender lining here. So but as you can see, this X5, he's been out in some mud. So look like he's been doing some off-roading in this thing. So I see why he wants me to get my detail guy to detail it. I really didn't look at it. I saw it when I pulled it in, after I pulled it in, but before I really didn't, because he was texting me. I was like, hey, what's your guys' detail information? So, he said that he wants to get the X5 cleaned up pretty good. But he's been working on this thing and getting a few things done on it. He had the windshield replaced. I believe Safe Light came out and replaced that. So, I mean, he's been doing things here to get it taken care of. I call it, he's getting it spring and summertime ready for the summer. But so yeah, these are the washer pumps. I'm gonna take those out. Ordered these from FCP Euro. I believe they were maybe like $30-$35 a pop. Actually, when I ordered them from the site, they said that it was gonna be, I guess, a VDO made it, but Continental bought Siemens and VDO some time ago, but I did not expect them to come branded as a Continental pump, but basically it kind of looks like, a factory BMW pump. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out of the package and see what we got. So pretty much here's the pump. Just look like a good old washer pump to me. But basically, FCP Euro is one of the part places I order things from, as an alternative to buying, the more expensive dealer parts. And I even get a discount at the dealership. But, sometimes, for the price of one thing, I want to say one washer pump back at the dealership, even at my cost, is probably like 60-something bucks. I think regular price may be like 80 or 85. So, I mean, I recommended him do both of them, like I said before, because it's a little bit of labor getting in there. I want to say, even though it's not gonna take me that long, it's about I think it's like 2.2 or 2.5 hours or something to do that. And you gotta pull the inner fender lining out. So we gotta knock those plastic rivets out, and this 10mm screw, gotta take that out. So gotta do that to get to the inner fender lining to access the washer pump. So that's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start on it a little bit. So just stay tuned. Alrighty, I'm back. So I got this X5 jacked up and I got it on a jack stand. So I got the front wheel off the ground enough to get the wheel off. But I just want to, point out basically what I did, because this thing has a pinch wheel up under this area here. But the air compressor for the vehicle is in the middle section here. But you want to be extremely careful when jacking any of these X5s or X6s up for that point, because it's just a little tricky. Like I said, there is a pinch wheel there. Like you have to put your jack probably kind of somewhere right here, just along that corner. And what I would do is just go up very, very slow if you have to do it this way. It's better, if you have a lift. But let's say you got to change a tire or do something very basic. You want to be very careful with lifting it up so you don't damage any components under the car, because unlike some of the other cars, maybe a 3 Series sedan or something else, a car type BMW, this is just a little bit trickier, because you got to kind of figure out what a pinch wheel is, which there is one up under there. But there are some of these have a lot of sensitive components under them, so you just got to be careful and mindful before you try to jack it up. But I got this nice and secure, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this wheel off. All right, so next up, I'm about to proceed to remove this wheel arch trim. You guys have probably seen me do that before on the back. And I got to get this rear portion of the inner fender lining out. All right, so to get that done, I'm gonna knock these out. I'm knock those plastic rivets out with a punch, and then up under here we got a couple of 8mm screws, and I believe over here I think it's a 10mm nut, like right there. So, and an 8mm there. So they got a couple 10s, and everything else is like 8s. All right, so pretty much I only took this out just about maybe midway, because like right here where it split, I still would be able to get it out. Plus I didn't want to risk possibly messing up that clip, or that little, I guess that tab, that locking tab that looks like kind of like this. Just kind of give me a little bit of a hard time trying to get it out. So I'm just gonna leave it in, just kind of sneak it out. So this is kind of, what would be considered a shortcut or a flat rate method, if you want to call it that. But I got my vacuum plugged up, and I got it handy because a little bit of dirt and like pine straw and stuff started falling out of there. So, and I think I've seen a couple of ants off up in there. So I want to definitely hurry up. I'm probably gonna have to spray back there, because I believe my client keep this thing outside. But I don't want no surprises coming out of there while I'm going up in there. I don't want to be seeing no spiders or nothing crazy. All right, so right here, you got this little compartment here that houses your wheel speed sensor. This is the passenger side, but on the driver's side, it will house your brake sensor. So in order to get this fender lining out, it's got a couple little push pins in there that I'm gonna have to push out just a little bit. So I'm just gonna push those in forward so I can get this out. And then once I do that, I'll be able to get this off so I can get this compartment off of there. So I'm gonna work on that real quick, and then I'll be able to get this fender lining down. All right, so on this E70, pretty much what I'm doing is I got the front washer pump kind of out of there just a little bit, and I'm letting it drain. And I'm going to replace that washer pump and strainer. So it's kind of enough room in there where I can kind of just unclip that little clip there, the little hose. I'm just going to unclip that and just kind of slowly get it out of there. There are also some quick disconnections right here. I could probably unconnect them right here too to make it easy to get out, and then plug it in. And then I'll take the front one out and then kind of get the back one out, and then I'll sneak the grommets out. So it's kind of a little tricky. I'm not sure if this on some of these you actually have to, believe it or not, take this fender off to get access to the washer tank. I know on the F15, which is the model after this one, you got to do that. So but I'm not going to be doing that if I don't have to. There's a little bit more work involved doing it that way. All right, so I got access to the washer tank. Just looking at it now, I kind of remember how crammed in there it is. Those are the washer pumps back there. I could possibly try to sneak them out of there. This thing is full, by the way, so I may try to ease one out, try to get them out. I went on and kind of loosened some more screws on this front portion of the inner fender lining, just so I can kind of access a little bit more. But I got to see how this thing is mounted in here. I think it just kind of clip in and come out. It's got like a little couple grommets. This particular model doesn't have the headlight washer. I didn't see any provisions on the front bumper for it. So usually if it has that, then it has a bigger washer pump that's powerful enough to wash the headlights. But this one has the front and rear back over in there. A little tricky to see. And I can actually see on one of them that there is some that it has some residue where it's starting to leak. When I take it out, I'll show you guys. But basically what happens is they'll start leaking, and then it'll internally short the motor out, or either they'll just freeze up and get stuck. All right, so pretty much here we go. This is what I ended up doing. So you just want to very gently, because these things are delicate, kind of just want to release these little clips here. So you can't mix them up. The front and the back they're kind of got their own, it's like it's almost reversed. So you can't mix them up. So I'm gonna pull the front pump out first, which is maybe a little tricky to see, but this one here, I'm gonna disconnect it from the wire harness and kind of just sneak it out. It's enough wiring area over there. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm trying to see if it connects right here. But I'm just gonna kind of just slowly pull it my way, and then I'm gonna work the rear one out with this right here disconnected. And I'm gonna put the rear one in first. Well, I'm gonna take the front one out first, and then the back one, and then put the rear one in first, and then put the front one in. So that should take care of the, you know, this should get me squared away there. But I will warn you, it is a little tight up in here. All right, so pretty much this is what you're looking for. So you want to get it kind of out to here, and then I'm gonna unplug this connection here. Now this was the front one. I really don't see anything wrong with this one, but since I had to go in here anyway, I just recommended to the customer that he replace both of them, because, you know, just of the labor of taking all this apart, getting back up in here to it. It's a very, it's not hard, but it is a little tedious. I've done this probably a long time ago. I was gonna say I've done it before, but it's actually been a while. Now I'm remembering, just basically, I remember how tricky it is. So yeah, it has been a while on the E70. So yeah, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's all good. All right, guys. I'm back. Here's a quick update. Actually, well, back in the day when I was working on these things, I know I've replaced a front and a rear washer pump, but I don't have any idea of how I got them out of there. I know I didn't remove the fender, but either way, this is a new time and a new day. So I basically just decided to try to make things a little bit easier for myself. So what I did, these screws on this inner side on the A pillar for the fender, I took 4 of those screws out so I can have a little wiggle room. And also I had to pop this this rocker panel back a little bit. It's a couple screws right here for the bottom side of the fender that go down through there, these little 8s. So I was able to give myself a little wiggle room. I look back over in here. It's probably a little tricky to see, but there is a screw like back off over in there, over in this area here. That little that silver thing, that's one of the mounting screws for the washer tank. So it's actually mounted to the body of the car behind this fender lining. So I'm not sure if there's 1 screw or 2 screws, but I wasn't able to find the other side of the screw up in there, because a lot of times I know, like on the E90s, on the like the 3 series and stuff like that, and also that would be the E90s, and I want to say the F30s. You got like 1 little screw, and you can kind of like swing the washer tank down to get to what you need to get to. But essentially, what I did, I am able to get the rear washer pump out. So I got a little bit of room. Then I was able to stick my little, I got this little pick. It's made by Laos. It's a little thick one. It's made for like getting loose water, coolant hoses and things like that. So I was able to slide them out of there. So I'm just gonna sneak it out and disconnect the plug like I did the front one. I'm gonna put a little quick mark. I'm gonna put an F on here for front. That way I don't get these mixed up. So I'm gonna do that with a Sharpie real quick, and then I'm gonna sneak that washer pump out. I'm gonna swap out the hoses and the pumps, and real quick I'm gonna try to get my pick and pick those grommets out and go back together. All right, so this is the rear washer pump right here. So I was able basically to get my pick, kind of pry it out. So the fender is a little loose, and I was able to kind of get them down out of there. It's probably a little tricky to see, but you can kind of see like some of the residue on here to where it's been leaking over time. That's pretty much what happens with them. They leak around these little weep holes down here, and they kind of, you know, internally fail. That's usually what happens with them. So basically, I'm just gonna press on this retaining lock. I'm trying to see if I can do it with one hand. It's a little tricky. There we go. So press on that, get it to slide out, and I'm gonna go over here. And you can actually see on here, if you guys don't know by now, when I take parts out of, especially when I'm working on BMWs. You see that right there? It says VDO. So Siemens and VDO made these back in the day, and you know, now Continental is making them. So pretty much the Continental pump we got is pretty much the correct manufacturer's replacement for this model. So, and I mentioned that both the front and the rear are the same. So all right, so I'm gonna get these. I basically got to be careful, just, you know, moving this clip. Pretty much a good rule of thumb is you just kind of just rotate these over a little bit. Be careful not to let them pop off. Just kind of rotate them just a little bit and then unlock and just slightly twist it off. Now, another thing to be careful with is there is an O-ring in there. So if that O-ring gets lost, you will have a leak. And I don't know if we can see that with these hoses here. It's probably a little tricky to see, but because of the way my light is, but there's a little O-ring in there. I'll probably show you guys on one of the front hose, because it has this right here has a male end on it, but the other one has a female end, so you'll be able to probably see the O-ring. It's more light than over here. So I'm gonna get over here. Well, the other thing I'm gonna do real quick, I need to replace those grommets. Well, the washer pump strainer, which let me see what I did with them. So these right here are the washer pump strainers. So I got 2 of those for the front and the rear, and I did buy these at the dealership. I could have bought I believe on FCP Euro they had a brand by Phoebe Bilstein or Bilstein. I guess they make Phoebe makes a lot of the gaskets and stuff, and Bilstein, you know, makes shock struts and stuff. So a lot of companies and corporations, you know, either merged together or got, you know, bought out by other companies, especially since you know, after COVID in 2020 and stuff. I'm not sure how long they kind of been together as a company, but you know, you kind of see like a lot of like the fluids and different you know, supplies for vehicle. You kind of see it's the same products, but the names do change. So and let me see, this is that front one. It's probably a little tricky. My headlight just went out. I was gonna try to show you guys that O-ring that's in there. All right, there it is. That will be the little O-ring that's down in there. So you want to make sure that don't get lost. All right, so what I do is just normally just kind of just gently just unlock and kind of twist that a little bit, the lock, and just get this to slide on off. And then on the new pump, I'm just gonna I pretty much just gently slide it on until it snaps in place. And once you hear it click in, you in business. All right, so I was able to get these old washer pump strainers out. I'm gonna go ahead and run a little water through the tank just to flush it out. But typically, if you get a washer, like let's say one of your symptoms is you hear your washer pumps humming and trying to work, but you get no fluid coming out, you usually have some type of buildup on the strainer. Which these right here are not that bad. This is just a little bit of like over concentrated, well, too much like aftermarket washer solution. That's pretty much what that is. But there is a little algae buildup on this one right here, but not bad. So pretty much some of them get gunked with algae, like a clear kind of greenish or grayish material, and that'll stop your washer system from spraying. So, but this one didn't have that issue. These will be okay. I mean, you can just clean them up and put them back in there, but because they had these little grommets and stuff, I like to just go ahead and replace them. So I'm gonna pop the new ones in, and then I'm gonna start putting these new pumps in, and I'm gonna test the system briefly and kind of start going back together with it. At the moment, my battery on my camera is starting to die, so I'm gonna have to swap it out, but it'll probably be mostly going back together. I may fire up the camera to test them real quick, but I'm gonna start going back together with it. All right, I'm back in action here. So basically I got the washer pumps in, and I got the fender kind of back into place. So pretty much, you know, I started with the back pump first. Well, first I put the washer pump strainers in. I got new strainers in here. Put the rear pump in first, then the front one. Then I just kind of plugged them in here where they go. And I got, you know, got that done. So I'm filling it up now. So I had some good old washer fluid, you know, some dealership grade washer fluid I'm about to, you know, top it off with. But yeah, I'm topping it off now. And I went in the house, got me a vase, because that's what I had access to. You know, nice, quick, and friendly to get me to top this thing off. So I'm not gonna fill it all the way up. I'm just gonna fill it about half. I can finish filling it up tomorrow. But pretty much what I'm trying to do now is test it. You know what I'm saying? Before I put it all the way back together. The last thing you want to do is get this joker all the way back together. You still got some type of issue. So that's what I'm doing. So just kind of top it off. This stuff is kind of highly concentrated, so I'm only gonna put about half of it in there. So stay tuned for the test. All right, here we go. So I'm testing these guys out. It's the front. So they are spraying. It's just kind of spraying. It's just kind of spraying down on the lower side of the windshield because the hood is open. And then now for the back. So that's the front. The back. Let's see. So there we go. We got action. So that's what we want. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and checking out another episode of Cool Fred's Beamer Tech. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. I know some of you guys may have a Beamer enthusiast in the house, or you know, you have a friend or uncle or somebody who's a Beamer enthusiast, or or just like do what we call them, like a gearhead. You got a gearhead in the family, and maybe they're having some issues with the BMW or something like that, or they're about to do some control arms or some washer pumps or something crazy that maybe nobody else has done before. Well, I haven't checked to see if anybody else on YouTube has done the washer pump. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done the control arms. I'm pretty sure that's more popular. But just thank you guys for hanging out. And until next time, I'm not sure what future project I'm gonna have as far as a BMW goes, but if I have something decent, I'll be sure to whip out the camera and make some content. So until next time, you guys take it easy.